Cody in the morning. WSM. This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Yeah, see, if you've been wondering all these years, so what is that? That's what it is. It's Coffee, Country, and Cody. Here we come. You can watch us now. CircleCountry.com. Sure hope you will. Our socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, available there too. And Kelly Sutton's Entertainment. Charlie Mattos, Annie Nye, Studio Director. Jeff Roberts is in Master Control. And we're going to the Grand Ole Opry with Craig Morgan here in just a little bit. We'll find out what you're working on this morning.
Well, I just saw this video, and I really wanted to share it with everybody because I feel like it needs more eyeballs.
Okay.
It needs more views.
A little more love.
Our friend Dirk Bentley decided to pull something out of the vault. He has paid homage to the Winter Olympics with his take on men's figure skating. So I didn't want anyone to miss that, just in case they hadn't seen it. I wanted to make sure. So we'll be playing that for you coming up in just a little bit.
Zach Bennett was telling me about a video, and I don't know if it was at Bridgestone on the Jumbotron or if it was a part of a news story about his bobblehead night.
Could be.
But he was showing off his hockey skills. Face plants at the end, Zach said. It's just like, getting a little bit cocky. And
a little too much.
Then you get a case of humble pie.
Do less. So that's coming up. Also, the Wynn brothers. We have become obsessed with the Wynn brothers. Their little sister, Haley, is on the U.S. women's Olympic team for hockey, and they are going for the gold, right? They're in the finals. So these three older brothers have dressed up and gone to each one of the games, and now they've gone viral. People are obsessed with them, and the outfits they wear are interesting.
They're like pajamas.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They look like you're in their PJs.
Not all of them. They have a couple.
With those, with a bucket hat.
Yes.
In
now,
this particular photo.
Some of them, and some of them, they have, different things. Yes, that's what. Save it. Yes. So if you're not familiar with the Wynn brothers, we will tell you about that. Also, we were talking about things that you felt were rich when you were growing up. Somebody who had an ice dispenser in their refrigerator.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one.
Garbage disposal.
See, these are the things. What were the things that you thought were rich when you were growing up that now you're like, yeah, they're not that big of a deal?
Well, Butter and Grit are coming to see us in the 8 o'clock hour. Our first guest this morning from the Assembly Food Hall acoustic desk. That's Luke Butter Michael and Laurel Grit Taylor as a duo, and a new single called Whole Lot More. And then we get into 9 o'clock, and you talk about songwriters extraordinaire. We've got them this morning. Josh Osbourne is coming by, and he's got an event that's separate from the one that Tony Arata is a part of. But Nashville Songwriter Hall of Famer Tony Arata will be joining us, both those in the 9 o'clock hour. Butter and Grit, they are straight ahead here on Coffee, Country, and Cody. Kelly Sutton, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Okay, so we are in the throes of the Winter Olympics. By the way, I saw the funniest thing that was posted just on socials, and it was like the Summer Olympics versus the Winter Olympics. And this guy says, I'd really like to know how fast somebody can run from there to there. And then you go to the Winter Olympics and he goes, let's strap somebody to this sled and push them down as fast as we can. And then it goes back to Summer Olympics and he goes, let's see how far somebody can throw a giant toothpick. And then it's Winter Olympics and he's like, let's put these razors on people's feet and see if they can spin on ice. So it is, when you think about how much more violent the Winter Olympics can be than the Summer Olympics.
We were watching the skeleton the other night.
That's crazy.
And I thought, one wrong move and your head is souse meat.
I'm telling you. You watch any of this and you don't really understand how fast that they're going. And then you see the little thing over here. It's like 85 miles an hour. 85! Could you imagine 85 miles an hour strapped to... You're not even strapped to anything. You're just holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
There's no way. No way.
Well, remember Henry Cho's great routine about the biathlon.
Oh, I love it.
Where you ski and then you shoot, and you ski and you shoot. But I'm just imagining I'm in third place and I got 2 bullets left.
I'm going to get me a gold medal. I'm getting me a gold medal.
I said, we were watching that the other night, and I said to Paul, you know what this means? And he said, what? And I said, that guy's the best fur trapper. Like, that's what it is. If something was to happen and we needed fur trappers again, he would win.
That's funny.
And you know who has gone to the curling rink here in Nashville because of his being engaged with the Olympics and the curling event.
Oh, who?
Jordan Davis. I heard Aaron Cooper talking about it yesterday.
Jordan has
apparently
done
there's a
curling?
curling rink here in town.
I knew there was one that was in Franklin, and I
Okay,
said
maybe that's where it was.
I really wanted to try it. Sean Johnson, gold medal Olympic, Sean Johnson, tried curling, and it was hysterical because she came up from like the pushing thing, and she goes, "I'll stick with gymnastics." Like it was that.
Wow.
She said it's so hard.
And
you don't realize how hard
apparently
it is.
that was Jordan's take on it too.
Oh my gosh.
I want to be the one that throws the stone. I think I could do that better. I would not trust
That's
myself
what
to
she
be
was-
the sweeper.
Well,
mean-
that's
I think
what
I would
she was
fall.
saying because you
Oh,
have to balance and push.
Right.
But they give you another when you're learning. They give you another little thing to hold on to keep your balance. And she said it was really hard. And I'm like, she could do flips on a balance beam. What business do I have trying to do this?
The stones
But
are
I
super
will.
heavy, by the way.
I'll try it.
Yeah. Jeff Roberts at Master Control, by the way, would like us to point out that we've had a little power surge here, and that's why we look like we're broadcasting from like our basement studio this morning, our annex or
I
something.
told you.
So-
When does it become a major power surge? Right now,
When
it's
we're
just
sitting
well, we're
in the
still
dark.
on the air.
When we're sitting in
So
the
it's
dark.
a minor power surge right now.
It's fine.
But when you said throw the stone, I thought you were at the Summer Olympics doing the hammer throw.
No. The curling thing is called the
I got
stone.
you now.
Yeah.
Then when you said that, I was like, oh,
The
wait,
hammer.
Yeah.
And
Throw
by
the
way-
hammer.
By the way, I think NBC has done a great job. I've watched so much on Peacock. Mike
Yeah.
Tirico is a wonderful primetime host, and I'm a big fan.
They're
doing
fun
a
with
great
it.
job.
Okay, so Dierks Bentley decided, in honor of the Winter Olympics, I'm going to pull this one out of the vault. Now, you might remember back in the day, he did a tour. It was Burning Man tour. And the tour announcement paid homage, I would say, to men's figure skating. Take a look and listen to this.
You've heard the hits. You've seen the spectacle. But nothing can prepare you for the Burning Man Tour on ice. Starring Dierks Bentley. Witness the grace. Behold the majesty. Embrace the magic.
And the leotard.
The magic
and the leotard.
and the dove.
This is so good.
Isn't it well done?
In the sensuality.
I'm sorry. This is
See
my,
what happens
This is
when
my favorite.
fire meets ice. Can you handle the raw emotion?
I tell you, I could rock that costume.
Featuring Tennille Towns
Oh gosh.
Neil Down.
and John Party.
And where can you find us, Kelly?
Oh, well, I guess it's on YouTube.
Okay.
This is the best is John Party on skates with Fringe. Tennille Towns.
No, she's from Canada. She can probably
She
really
probably can
skate.
skate.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is
you see
good.
Dierks, and it's like, this man is married and raising children.
Burning Man Tour.
That's really, really good.
In case anyone didn't see it, it's now all over socials again. And that was the Burning Man tour that was like, 2019, I think. So it was a while back, but just perfection. And it could not have peaked any sooner than right now with the Winter Olympics. I think, maybe Dierks is really vying for like a spot in the next Winter Olympics.
No one commented when I thought I could rock that costume. I thought
Well, we
you
were
kind
going
of
to
all
let that
ignored
slide.
huh?
We were going to let that slide, but yet you just brought it back up.
Well, I think for fur and feathers. I mean, I'm kind of the Portuguese can pull off both of that look.
Pull off
I
is a
think you
strong
should
word.
go back and get your Chelvis.
Well,
Jumpsuit.
it was very reminiscent of the jumpsuit. That's
It
what I'm
was.
thinking.
Oh,
yeah.
listen, we remember.
If I just had the belt.
Is that what it was?
And
That
some
was what was
scarves.
missing.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
was
If
just
Dierks only threw out some scarves, man, I could rock that.
Can I be your scarf man?
That's
Please,
the
you could be my Charlie Hodge.
Here you
only
go.
thing that was
There you go.
missing was a scarf. Okay, so from Dierks Bentley on ice to the Wynn brothers. So let's set this up. Haley Wynn is now currently on the U.S. women's hockey team. They are going for the gold. Her three brothers are her biggest fans. And when I say biggest fans, I mean that in the literal way. All three of them played hockey in college. The entire family is a hockey family. But little sis is the one that's the standout. So they are dressing up each and every day in different outfits to support their little sister. Take a look at this.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops.
God bless America, and gentlemen, start your
They have on full American flags with bald eagle heads, and that was just one of the looks. They also have the suit that is made out of American flags. Right. Now, the first day, they said they were keeping it classy, so they came in sweaters. They look like Ralph Lauren sweaters that had the American flag on it, and they had little page boy caps on. But then after that, it's, you know, they're really off to the races.
And with their little PJ look, their flag motif, they had matching bucket hats.
And they are on the glass. They are screaming for her. They truly have become like viral sensations. And in fact, I think the Today Show did an interview with all of them and how she feels. It was like, is this exciting for you to see your family up there cheering, or is it a little distracting? Because it is, I mean, they really are pulling focus. And she said, no, they've always been my biggest fans, and I love seeing them in the stands cheering for me. So very cute. Very, very
great
cute.
Stories. Butter and Grit are in the house.
All right.
They're in the green room right now. That's Luke Michael and Laurel Taylor as Butter and Grit, respectively. New single, Whole Lot More. And they're playing the Key West Songwriters Festival coming up in April into May. And they're here at the Assembly Food Hall acoustic desk straight ahead.
Yep, a trip to the Opry and Breland before we get there.
All right.
Or did we decide we're not going to do that?
No, Breland.
Breland, tomorrow.
We're going to the break. Coming back with Butter and Grit. Hang on.
From the Assembly Food Hall acoustic desk, this is Coffee Country and Cody.
And we welcome Butter and Grit. And this is where a merch placement is a good idea so that you know which one of those monikers belongs to whom.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He always wears the butter hat, and I always wear the grit hat. But.
So it's it's big fun this morning with Luke Butter Michael and Laurel Taylor. She is Grit of the duo Butter and Grit.
When we met at the Opry a couple of weeks ago, I said the whole world needs hats with names on them, life would be so much easier if we just all did that. So you guys are trendsetters.
We got to get everybody one.
We're trying.
So Charlie mentioned the Opry recently. For folks who are just joining us and meeting you for the first time, seeing you for the first time, give us a little backstory on your bio, where you come from, and how you wound up making music.
Yeah, definitely. So I actually started, I was 18 and moved to Nashville and decided to do, the whole music, chase the dream.
From where?
Alabama.
Okay.
So, I've been here for 15 years. I'm 31 now, so I love it.
So where in Alabama?
Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay.
Graduated high school. I decided softball, wasn't my thing, and I was like, I'm going to do music, and so I started at Tootsie's. Playing on Broadway.
What was the first song you ever played at Tootsie's?
Loretta Lynn, You Ain't Woman Enough to Take My Man.
Good memory.
Strong start.
Yeah.
And it was the worst version I've ever done in my life.
Because you were scared to death.
I butchered it. It was very embarrassing, but they had those little tryouts, at Tootsie's, and so no. But I've been playing for a while, and I learned like my craft of like how to play for a crowd and how to sell beer and things like that, and. But we both grew up as worship leaders, so it's kind of cool how we can like read a room, as Butter and Grit. And
so, what was your biggest tip night ever at Tootsie's?
There's this guy named Dollar Man. He comes down there, and when he comes down, he throws like hundreds of dollars, and it's just dollars. But I mean, the band will make. I mean, I've probably made like $2,000 in a night, like by myself.
No kidding.
Yeah, I played for like a CMA week, and those are big. New Year's Eve I've played. It's huge. Like,
do you have Dollar Man's contact info? We'd like to book him on the show.
Look, I bet he's still down there. I bet he is.
That's got to be a fun thing, though, to know that you got enough money that you're like, I'm just gonna go make somebody's night.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, for sure. And
so cool.
When you see him, he's holding them, and he's like, he's ready. And so it's really cool. But no, played on Broadway for a while. Did American Idol. Slowly ventured into Christian music. Really changed my life around, just in my thinking, and this town is phenomenal, but it can also take a toll on you.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I had to recenter myself, and that's kind of when I met Luke in 2023. And you want to tell a little?
Well, hearing that song kind of changed your life around, Luke, right?
Exactly. We I was coming through Nashville on my way to Texas to play a show. I had just done American Idol as well, and so I was on my way, and I stopped here, and I was like, well, I have a guitar in me, so I'm going to play at the Commodore Grill, because that's the only place that had an open mic.
And nobody ever does that in Nashville.
No. Never. So I showed up at 6 p.m. to put my name on the list, and I saw her name on the actual roster for the night at 8 o'clock, and I was like, that name looks familiar, and looked her up. For some reason, we followed each other on Instagram, but we've never met. We still, to this day, really don't know why.
And you didn't know each other from Idol?
No, not at all. There was many years between
15 years,
that.
yeah.
So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so we, I just shot her a DM, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be there. I would love to say hey. She came in and, barely waved as she came in, and I was like, okay, I guess that's how Nashville does it. I don't know.
It's true, but I literally stayed, and I heard him sing, and it was phenomenal. And so we went to dinner the next day, and we were all just talking, and as we do, we all get deep and just started having conversation. And he was talking about how he has been struggling with things and just going through a really dark place. And he told me, he said, but if I heard the song, and it really pulled me out of bed, and where I could literally brush my teeth. I mean, that's what you said. And I said, what was the song? And he told me the song, and I sat there, and Lauren, our manager, was sitting there, and then his mom was sitting there, and I just started kind of tearing up, and then he started tearing up, not knowing why he's tearing up. And I said, Luke, I wrote that song. And he's like, so in a matter of moments with strangers, we're just sitting there, and we're like, there's something here.
Yeah.
And what's the song?
It's called Psalm 23, and it was actually nominated, the Isaacs cut it.
That's a good cut.
It is. I love them.
It was nominated.
But this is like a Lifetime movie. Like, people watch it, it's like, oh, that doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
But it really happened.
We can't make this up.
Because for the longest time, we've started telling the story to people, and it almost does sound like fake, And so this year on my birthday, I was going through my house. We're all in the process separately of moving right now, and I found this journal that I'd kept during this super dark part of my life, and I found written on my birthday this year where I was like, I can't get out of bed, but the one thing that's keeping me going is, hallelujah, I'm not alone, from Psalm 23. And so I sent that to her, and I was like, man, this is just a recentering of this is why we're doing what we do. So
that's so good.
And where's home for you?
I'm from in between Cincinnati and Dayton, a place called Carlisle, Ohio. Mm-hmm. So it's a village. It's really small, and no one ever leaves, but I got myself on out. So.
Goes without saying, Buckeyes?
Listen, I like to eat Buckeyes. I'm not a sports guy. I don't
He's
really
like,
keep
sports.
up. Oh, you don't go sports. I like college basketball. That's about it. But no, I love to eat a Buckeye. That's my favorite. I like peanut butter. I know.
We do too, don't we, Kelly?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I got to meet you guys backstage at the Opry too.
Yeah.
So being back there, talk to us a little bit about that, because I could see it on both of your faces.
Oh my gosh.
You were having a night.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we attended a CMA event and just met some incredible people, and they were like, y'all come to the Opry. And I thought it was gonna be more like a, hey, you'll get to just meet everybody and leave kind of thing. And we got to stay for the show, and I think that was the first one, wasn't it, when we met? Yeah, I thought so. And what's cool is the Opry is a family. The Opry doesn't do things like the industry, if that makes sense. Not in a bad way or a good way, just in general. The Opry,
there's a welcoming quality.
There is
you don't go sing in Rhonda Vincent's dressing room anywhere else other than the Grand Ole Opry, right?
Listen, that was on the spot. Okay,
we walked into her dressing room, and we were like, we just want to say hey.
Yeah.
And
she was
we're
like, go
huge
do that
fans.
again.
She was
go do that again.
Walk out, come back in,
and
turn the
like,
camera on. And we're like,
we had no
okay,
idea
Rhonda.
she was about to ask us to sing, but that was phenomenal. I mean, she's the queen of bluegrass, and so but go ahead.
The Opry's been truly, it's one of those things where there's a lot of places in Nashville where you kind of feel like an outsider. You're trying your hardest to climb this ladder, and it's fun, but it's also taxing. And so it's nice. I feel like every time that we've had the privilege of, stepping backstage and hanging out with the Opry family, like they welcome us in as family. And we really appreciate that because it makes us feel like we belong and remember.
Truly. And like, who doesn't want to be at the Opry? You know what I mean? Especially as an artist, like that's your goal, is to play the, the circle. And so like, we want to respect the back, behind the scenes and learn the most. We got our books, the, Opry 100, and we've been reading it. We're like, we just learned so much,
What picture, what page is your picture on, Charlie?
In the Opry 100 book.
271.
There it is.
I love it.
I will autograph it for $5.
Available for autographing.
I don't think I
should have brought mine with me.
Suitable for framing.
Absolutely. Yes.
We're going to play a whole lot more. Give us a backstory on that, and we'll play that first.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, totally. We were writing this song based on an experience we had where we met somebody who was talking about like just all this materialistic stuff in their life, and we were like, that's great, but we wear clothes from Goodwill if we have to. We, shop at the discount store if we need to. And so
being content.
We just need to be content with what we have. And so we wanted to write a song about that.
Well, here it is, all over the world. Butter and Grit, our guest this morning from the Assembly Food Hall Acoustic Desk.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
And we continue from the Assembly Food Hall Acoustic Desk this morning with Butter and Grit. That's Luke Michael, Laurel Taylor, our special guests. And we just heard a whole lot more earlier. It's, 6-7 weeks into the new year. And as I was looking at your socials, New Year's resolution, to be content is what you posted. Is that working out for you?
Absolutely.
In the music business?
Absolutely. As much as it can.
Also, the interesting thing is every person I've talked to, when they feel like I'm just going to I'm not going to white knuckle it anymore. I'm going to kind of let go and I'm going to be content. That's when good things happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen that already?
Totally.
Especially with Butter and Grit. Like, I feel like we were both doing our own thing. And then when we chose to do this together, it makes so much sense.
So how did you arrive at Butter and Grit?
Luke.
That is my claim to fame. I will take that till the day I die. I will claim that. No, we were sitting on the couch. We had decided to start Butter and Grit in a Chinese buffet, and as one does.
Yeah.
And we went home.
So
and we
you
were
could have been like Mushu pork.
like totally. Yeah. I mean, we like.
It was our meetup spot with our manager.
Yeah, the communal ice cream scoop they have or whatever.
Yeah. And now welcome to the Grand Ole Opry, Mugu Guy Pan.
Yeah. Perfect.
We literally were just like, okay, we're gonna do this, and then we went home and we were like, let's just start working on it, and we recorded our first single that night. She's a producer, so she produces all of our music, and so we were working on it, and I was like, well, we need a great name, and Luke and Laurel to me sounds boring, so
it actually sounds like the soap opera. Remember Luke and Laura?
Yes,
General Hospital?
we just got that last week.
Yeah.
Was that General Hospital?
I think I don't remember.
No, it was. That was the whole.
Luke and Laura,
their marriage was like that was my college years.
That's why I think we didn't do Luke and Laurel, because everybody would think we were married.
Sure.
Exactly. It sounds that.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, like, well, we're doing like this like country soul thing. Like, what's more soulful than like good food? And like, what if we do Butter and Grit? And you said,
that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard.
let's do it. And it's become literally.
So it's not grits. It's
no,
grit.
I love that grit is the singular. That's
grit is the reason, we go into prisons, we write, we talk about the hard felt stuff, and so grit.
What's so funny is what comes up when you type in Butter and Grit.
Oh yeah,
is you get Southern grits, instant grits, hominy grits, dry grits,
sugar and
cheesy grits, sugar grits, and it just goes on.
And then you get a whole lot more.
And
like
right very
and it's like, oh look, there they are.
There you are.
So Kelly and I are both only children, and if you go to your website, you got some great merch, and you can buy Butter and Grit ball caps, but you can't buy just a butter or just a grit. And the only children in us would think you got to do that and see what sells more.
Yeah. Well, so this hat that she's wearing specifically, like, so we do a lot of prison ministry, and we didn't have like a butter hat and a grit hat for the longest time, and the inmates actually made this for us.
Are you serious?
On our most recent trip back.
Yeah,
at
we went
Christmas.
to Boston, and the inmates made it.
And so they have like an embroidery shop, and so they
did butter, they did grit, and they did for our manager because
so but now that we start wearing, everybody's like, well, I want a butter hat, or I want a grit hat.
Well, go on to the prison.
Go to the prison, I guess.
Talk a little bit about that, because I know that's really central to you guys.
Yeah. That's our favorite thing that we do. I mean, it's truly the heart behind Butter and Grit is the resilience, and our personal stories. It would take forever to go through them, but we've been through hell and back, and we're very blessed and thankful that we get to stand on this side of it and tell people that like everything will be okay and there is hope for tomorrow. But there's a lot of people out there that don't have that hope, and so we go into prisons, recovery centers, hospitals, veteran programs.
And was it because of the issues that the two of you've dealt with that you chose that ministry, that particular kind of ministry?
I'll tell you, I don't think we chose it. I think it kind of came to us. I really do, because it started with just me playing like rounds with Jesus in a bar here at the Turney Center, and I was like sitting down with our manager and a few others, and I was like, does anybody like write with the residents? And they were like, no, that's a different program. So like we got connected with Beat a Life. They're in Nashville, and one of our first things we did was with Jelly Roll. It was for the detention center.
When you were telling that story, that's the first name that came to mind.
Yeah.
And boy, what a trajectory, huh?
So it's been a passion. Like you kind of got to weave out like, okay, or, do you do it because all these people come in? Like Jeffrey Still came in, Shannon Sanders came in, like we all wrote and stuff. But like past that, will you go on a Tuesday afternoon when there's like 4 guys, sitting there in that, cell, and it's like, it just, I don't know, it brings purpose to what we're doing and how we're writing. And so I'd choose that over going on a major tour with anybody, You
mentioned your early days at Tootsie's, and the first thing you ever played was Loretta Lynn.
Yep.
Michael, when you played the Commodore that night, that first time in town, what did you play?
It was original music.
Yeah. Oh,
and
okay.
I mean, it was this open round, and I literally played, I think, a song called Crazy X that I had written, and I was playing around, and I was like, it was very much, I don't even write like that anymore, just like different stuff, and
super cool.
I'm very thankful they took a chance, because now I'm very different.
and all my exes was already written. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I know, and I'm not from Texas, so it doesn't work out. But
well, you have a guitar. You want to play something? What are you going to do?
And by the way, you're on your, if people want to know more about your schedule, they can find your tour schedule at butterandgrit.com. And one of the things you're doing, Kelly has been a part of it in years past, Key West Songwriters Festival in April into May.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
we're so excited.
So excited.
It's going to be awesome.
You want to tell a little bit about Con?
Totally. Yeah, this song, it goes along with everything we do with prison ministry and everything. We wrote this song, as a result of all those things that we experience, and the world's been a crazy place, I feel like, for everybody the past couple years, especially this year, and we just wanted to write a song about extending a handshake towards each other and being kinder.
And what's the title again?
Kind.
Butter and Grit.
Wow.
How did you discover the ability to do unison and then slip into harmony?
That's beautiful.
I think our worship leader background truly has helped us to learn to just go with the flow, and every moment is unique and special. So whatever that moment deserves is what we're going to do.
And I can tell you're such a great producer, because silence the noise line.
Yes.
There's that subtle little
like,
break.
oh.
That's really sweet. Yeah. I love that.
And when you sing in unison, I mean, so many times we've heard people sing in unison, and you're like, they sound great, but not when they're on the same. Your tone together is so beautiful.
Thank you.
And not since, and I hope you know who they are, but the Band of Heathens. And their music is nothing like what the name implies.
Yeah.
But they're the only other people I've ever heard until just now do that in studio that perfectly.
Wow. That means a lot.
You need to check them out, because they're
we definitely
so
will.
talented.
So did it come together just like that, or was there a lot of work to sound that good? Because, I mean, the way you met is a wonderful story, but if you sounded bad, it doesn't matter, right? The fact that it's magic is the amazing part.
We, when he was in town that week, Lauren took us downtown, and she said, like, get up on stage. And we were like, like we've never sang together.
Yeah.
And it was like we've been singing together for years. And people were like, what's y'all's name? Like, I want to find y'all. And we're like, well, my name is.
Like, well, you can find her.
We are Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We always say the writing was kind of on the wall. Everyone saw it before we did.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming to see us. By the way, Jelly Roll, you mentioned him earlier in the prison ministry and those sorts of things. He's been named the Artist Humanitarian Award by the Country Radio Broadcasters for CRS coming up in March.
That's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Wanted to make sure I mentioned that this morning. Again, their tour dates at butterandgrit.com, and they include the Key West Songwriters Festival, April 29th through May 3rd. Thanks for coming to see us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
It's delightful. Thank you.
From the Assembly Food Hall acoustic desk, this is Coffee Country and Cody.
Who wrote that song?
I don't know.
That's a Shane McAnally song.
A lot of them are. And a lot of them belong to you. Josh Osbourne is here this morning and accompanied by Charles Dixon, violinist and series organizer for tomorrow night at Schermerhorn Symphony Center.
Yeah.
So before we get into the music part of it, give us the background on this wonderful series and all the different people that have been a part of it so far.
Yeah, well, the background goes way back to 2010, as we said last time I was here, over a bowl of cereal. And started it with my late cousin, Brett James. And we kind of had this amorphic road where it was just kind of constantly evolving. But it was just basically the concept was a Songwriter and Symphony show in 2010. And it had lived under a bunch of different titles. And then last year, or going into last season at the Symphony, I brought the Symphony and took a shot at the Bluebird with Erica, and the rest is history.
So what cereal was it? Because, in Nashville,
I
somebody
can't
out there
remember.
going, I'm going to try
honestly-
that. Next time I've got writer's block, I'm going to have that cereal.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's special.
Yeah.
That's a special memory. And we are just heartbroken over Brett. I know you are too. And
He was just in with us.
He was.
For Bluebird at the Symphony. That was the last time he was with us.
It was like a week, 2 weeks at the most, I think, before the plane crash.
Oh, no. It was a while.
It was about
Was it a while?
Yeah, because it was April that
Yeah,
we would
that was
have
when you were
been
here,
here,
too.
and
Yeah.
then it was in September, so probably about 3 months.
Wow.
It just felt so close together. Yeah.
Well, we interrupt this music broadcast to bring you University of Kentucky basketball.
Yes.
Oh.
And Josh Osbourne, Big Blue Nation, is
That's
in the
right.
house.
Big Blue in the house.
Because I asked you, I said, when was the last time you were writing Route 23 in Virgie, Kentucky, your hometown? And,
That's right.
Yeah.
I was up there last summer, my sister's birthday. I won't say which one because she killed me. But yeah, my sister had a birthday party last year. We were up there for that. Unfortunately, I don't get to go home a lot, but being from Kentucky, it never leaves you. So even if you leave it, it's still there.
We were talking about favorite state songs this morning.
Yes.
And you can
my old
appreciate
Kentucky
this
home.
as a songwriter.
Yeah.
My old Kentucky home doesn't get any better, does it?
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of Big Blue, senior day at Kentucky, whenever somebody, like when I was a kid, the former governor, Happy Chandler, would come out and sing My Old Kentucky Home. There wouldn't be a dry eye in the house.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
It was, and so even now they always have a celebrity come in or somebody come in and sing it every year for the last Kentucky home game, and so it's a beautiful song. Yeah,
I'm a native Rhode Islander, and we're suffering greatly when it comes to state songs. If we commissioned you think you could channel like a really small state and write us one?
or just do My Old Rhode Island Home. It's a beautiful song. Just change it to that.
That's it.
We weep a lot in Rhode Island, so it would work okay. So.
It just comes with being Portuguese,
Yeah,
doesn't
I
it?
think so.
Yeah, it's just part of the culture. So, Charles, tell us about the guest lineup with Josh for this upcoming show tomorrow night.
Speaking of tearjerkers, he's got a couple in the program, as does Brandy Clark and Shane McAnally. And
You brought Shane in from the West Coast. We got him back.
It's he's on loan.
Okay, good.
So we have to enjoy him while we have him.
He's not here that much anymore. We miss him.
No, he. I don't know if we miss him, but he is not here. And
let's not get carried away,
let's not make him overstay his
That's
welcome.
true. That's true.
I think once the show's over, he can leave. But we do need his talent for that. It's when Charles reached out about doing the show at the Schermerhorn, it feels so odd calling you Charles. Everybody calls him Cousin Chuck.
Cousin Chuck.
It's just so informal. Mr. Charles asked me about doing the show, and he said, do you think there's any chance we could get Shane to do it? And I said, not a chance. He won't. He's on the West Coast now. He's semi-retired, according to him. Mm-hmm. But when I told Shane what it was, he said, "Oh, yes, I would do that in a second." And then the obvious third became, who else could we get? Do you think we could get Brandy, who's Grammy-winning artist, is on tour? It was just hard to get it to all line up. And, of course, getting the opportunity to do this at the Schermerhorn, Bluebird with the Symphony, she said, I have to do it. We'll make it happen. So we're excited about it because we were talking about it before we came in, that those two, Brandy tours and does her things a lot, but those two don't do a lot of songwriter shows anymore.
Right.
And so the uniqueness of having them here to do that, and then you add the Symphony to it, add the Bluebird name, add that it's at the Schermerhorn. It's kind of it's like having a Coca-Cola while you eat a Big Mac at McDonald's. I mean, it's like we put all the brands together and said, come out and experience this unique thing. And so
by the way, putting together a lineup is always that easy.
It sure is.
Josh Osbourne is here. Kenny Chesney, first number one?
It was, yeah.
Come over?
Yep, that's right.
How many since?
I've been very fortunate. I've had 31 number ones.
Ooh. Josh, that's crazy.
It's
take that, Blake Shelton.
I'm sure he's listening this morning.
I know. I just saw that
because Sangria was one of your songs.
Sangria was one, and My Eyes. Blake's been very good to me. I've had I think 4 with Blake, so he's been very good to me. So
I read where your wife was instrumental in continuing to believe in you.
Oh yeah,
in a time when maybe you didn't think things were going to happen.
Oh, for sure.
What's her name?
Her name's Tony.
Okay.
Tony Osbourne. We have a little daughter, Indiana. We call her Indy. Which, by the way, was a funny conversation when I called my mom to say, I think we've picked a name for our daughter. We're going to name her Indiana. And there was this long pause, and my mom goes, but we hate Indiana.
That hurts.
Said, no. We hate Louisville. I said, we don't play Indiana anymore.
So Lexington, and we'll call her Lexi?
Yeah, we'll call her Lexi.
There you go.
But yeah, Tony, thank God Tony got a real job for years so I could keep chasing this thing, because my story's not that different than a lot of people, but I moved to Nashville right out of high school in 1998, and it was 12 years before I had a song recorded.
12 years in a 10-year town.
Exactly. Wow. It's a 10-year town, but I did it in 12. And finally got a song recorded, and then had that song with Kenny. It was my 14th year in town when I finally had a number one song. So it's a lot of hard work and a lot of people behind the scenes that you don't get to see, and she's honest to God, she's the only reason this happened. Like it's trying to grab the brass ring or whatever. It's like you got to have somebody else there to sort of help lift you up, because I could not have done it by myself. So.
Well, lift that guitar up over there
yeah.
and play us out this morning, if you would. Josh Osbourne, he's accompanied this morning by what do they call you? Uncle Chuck?
Cousin Chuck.
Cousin Chuck.
Yeah.
And tickets still available for tomorrow?
Yeah, so not a lot, but there are some.
Okay. Yeah. There's really no bad seat in that amazing building.
Beautiful. And
do you guys do the choir seats for this show?
We don't for this show, but
I've been there for the jazz series that you
sometimes
guys do.
They'll open it up, but for right now it's not sitting behind us.
Well, I think it was George Jones that once said, if you get the opportunity to see a songwriter perform with the Symphony, you should definitely do it.
Well, he said a lot of things.
He said a lot of things, so I'm assuming at some point he said that.
Sure.
That's
Absolutely.
No, he didn't remember he said it, but I'm sure he did. Right? Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
What are you going to play?
Well, I was thinking, since you mentioned Route 23, I'm going to play one. I think Shane's playing this in the show tomorrow night, but I'll play this one now. This is a song we had with Midland a few years ago. It was their first number one song, and it's a song that was very inspired growing up on Route 23 because of Keith Whitley, Gary Stewart. That's my favorite music.
Dwight Yoakam.
Yeah.
Hillbilly Highway is how it's affectionately known. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this song specifically always reminded me of that. So this is Drinking Problem.
That's Josh Osbourne. Josh, along with Brandy Clark, Shane McAnally, tomorrow night as a part of the Symphony series, Songwriter Symphony series. And thank you to Charles Dixon for joining him this morning. Great to see you both. I'd love for you to just do like a verse chorus of all 31 number ones. However, don't look now, but over your shoulder in the green room is Nashville Songwriter Hall of Famer Tony Arata.
So thanks. I wasn't nervous enough to do this.
And he's going to join us next. Have a great night tomorrow night.
Thanks, y'all.
I know you will.
Thank you.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody, live from the Assembly Food Hall acoustic desk.
Yeah, we have Hall of Fame status in the room right now.
I know.
Would you welcome Tony Arata?
Thank you so much. So good to see y'all. It really is.
Every time I see you, first thing pops into my head is a quote you gave me in the early days of our friendship, where you said, as long as Johnny Mercer is around and his music, I'll always be the second most famous songwriter from Savannah.
Hey, I'll go one better there, Bill. I tell people the only thing I have in common with Mr. Mercer is the fact I was born in Savannah too, and I fished on Moon River. So, yeah.
That catalog is extraordinary, isn't it? The Johnny
Oh
Mercer
my
catalog.
gosh.
Yeah.
My father got caught in Frank Paris's seafood restaurant with Johnny Mercer, and they had a neap tide so nobody could leave. And Mercer sat up on the bar and just had people name off a letter from the alphabet, and then he'd sing a well-known classic that started with that letter. And so he kept the troops entertained. Yeah, he was just incredible.
I heard something in a documentary with his grandson, who has his music catalog in his estate, and that at the time of that taping, that year, the most popular song or melody in music in the world was "Hooray for Hollywood."
Wow.
Oh.
I never knew he wrote that. So,
It's amazing.
well, let's talk about what you've written.
Well,
Huh?
it's not like Mercer's. I can tell you that.
But, of course, famously, Garth Brooks' "The Dance," "Here I Am" for Patti Loveless was a #1. "I'm Holding My Own," Leroy Booger Red Parnell. And "Dreaming
Yes.
with My Eyes Wide Open," Clayboy Walker.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you went to Georgia Southern.
I did. Georgia Southern. Both Jamie and I did. Yeah, my wife and I did.
And
Both.
So when you got your journalism, as I recall.
Yes. Well, it's a kind of a courtesy pass is what I got, Bill. They finally said, we need you to just move along. I you know.
What do we have to do to get you to leave?
Yeah.
Well, here's your papers. You can walk on out.
That's right.
That's good.
That's right.
Was journalism just kind of the paper that you wanted to get? Did you know you were always going to do music?
I knew I was hoping to do music.
Okay.
And here's how I wound up with a journalism degree. My father, who was footing the bill for me to go to school, said, "What do you got the most hours in?" I said, "Journalism." He said, "You're a journalism major, now get out."
There you
so
go.
I get done and
Okay.
get out. So yeah.
You're on my tab, so we.
But
need
it
to wrap
actually
up.
came in handy when Jamie and I moved to town, because
Yeah.
I wound up working for a trade publication.
Oh, what were you doing? Writing or?
I was writing. I actually wound up being one of the assistant editors, and so
For which magazine?
Oh, it was a thrilling piece of reading there, Bill. It was called Bus Operator. It was for a big outfit out of Washington D.C. called the American Bus Association.
Ah.
And so we did their trade pubs, and so that's. I actually ran a bus rodeo in this parking lot out here at Opryland, if you can believe that.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
On his way to the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
For people that don't know,
Yeah.
because I've been part of a semi rodeo before, where I've seen the big semis do that. So
Right.
tell everybody what a bus rodeo consists
Oh, it's
of.
like all these drivers. It's like the buses you see down at the Country Music Hall of Fame. These
Sure.
are tour companies, and so they come and whoever can get the closest to the tennis balls or the traffic cones and whatnot. But it was really where worlds collide. It truly was, because at that time the dance had already happened. And I was still working for the magazine, and I'll always remember one of the bus drivers getting off, and he said, "Tony, can you get me a job driving for Garth?" And I said, I knew this would happen. It's like where worlds collide.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can't make it up.
So great.
You came to town. Jamie was instrumental in that, wasn't she?
Extremely. It's well documented. The way we wound up here is that one evening over dinner, Jamie looked across our little table there in Thunderbolt, and she said, "I've been thinking, partner." She said, "We can be broke anywhere." She said, "Why don't we go be broke in Nashville, where maybe somebody might actually hear some of these songs that you're writing?" And 30 days later, and with no other plan in place, we were Nashvillians. That's how we got here.
What were you driving?
I drove a rental truck with our few belongings in it. And Jamie had a little Honda Accord. So, yeah. And we had enough money to last for maybe 3 months. And, of course, that was gone in about a month.
Yeah.
And panic set in. But I was very grateful. I mean, Jamie is, by all means, the brains of the outfit. And so she was able to get a job and keep us here in town. Uh-huh. And I wound up, my first job here was loading trucks for UPS. And which is about what being a musician your whole life qualifies you to do. You know, it's lift heavy things and put them in a truck. You know,
right.
So that's about my skill set.
At least 50% of it, yeah, getting it on there.
Yeah.
When did you have your first write in town? Were you just like solo writing at home? Were you co-writing? How was that working?
That was a foreign concept to me.
Right.
I had always written by myself, and so it. I remember co-writing, but it seemed strange to me. I really did come from the old school. I really appreciate, writing lyrics and working with, like a piano player or something like that.
Okay.
And or vice versa, where a piano player would give you a lyric. Mm-hmm. And so it's I still to this day I haven't done a whole lot of co-writing, but it's more with the people I really enjoy being around. Leroy and I have written a lot of songs together, and so it's just a small group.
Who gave you your first cut?
The first cut I ever had was before we moved here. It was Jim Glaser.
Was it really?
Yes, and on a little independent label out of Atlanta, Georgia, and Jim had a song of mine called "Man in the Mirror."
Oh yeah,
and that was the title track of his first solo record.
Wow.
I can see the album cover right now.
Here was the crazy part, though, is I didn't realize when I came up here to hear the record, it was at Glaser Brothers Studios, which was the epicenter of, the outlaw movement and everything like that. I mean, it was like, this is where, Chris and everybody were hanging. That's where they were hanging out and wailing. And so, but I had no earthly idea what I was getting involved with. But anyway, and then, of course, that all faded, and Jim lost his deal, and that kind of went away. And then we decided to come to Nashville when we had absolutely no calling card at all. So it's always about the timing.
And that Glaser sound on all those Marty Robbins records.
Oh yes,
and he toured with him, with Chuck and Tom Paul and Jim, and man, I miss Jim. He used to come play the Opry, do a solo thing from time to time.
He had a voice that it just got better.
Yeah,
as he got older, he really did.
So tell me about I'm Holding My Own, Leroy Parnell.
I wrote that, and I was working at Bug Music at that time, and Dave DeRocher knew Leroy real well because he had played in a band with him, and so Dave was plugging songs there at Bug, and he just gave a cassette to Leroy, and Leroy literally held on to it for almost a year, and then wound up cutting it, and that was my second number one. It was a big deal, and a great record, truly a great record.
Well, let's play it for people all over the world. Songwriter Hall of Famer Tony Arata is here. Franklin Theater Songwriter Series, this Thursday night, 7:30. We'll tell you more coming up.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
On his way to the Franklin Theater Songwriter Series this Thursday night, so got a couple of days to make plans for 7:30 at the Franklin Theater. Nashville Songwriter Hall of Famer Tony Arata is here. All right, who said this? Tony Arata. He's a cat who doesn't care about appearances. He doesn't care about money. He cares about his children, his wife, and his music. I think that's neat.
Oh.
Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks. That sounds like Garth.
We've been friends it's hard to believe we've been friends for 40 years. And
okay. So when would have been the first time you remember meeting him?
I stumbled in the back of Douglas Corner for an open mic show. And I still remember it to this day. He was a young man sitting on a bar stool, and I still remember the song he was singing. It was wound up on his first record. It was called "I've Got a Good Thing Going."
Yeah.
And I walked up and introduced myself, and the first thing he did was sing back a song he would eventually record called "Same Old Story" of mine that was on a ill-fated album that I did for MCA.
That's when I first remember meeting you.
Yeah.
When you were doing that solo thing on MCA. Yeah, and that song is just masterful, Tony. As so many
Same
things.
Old Story.
Yeah. And did it ever single?
They put it out on me, and that was like, everybody knew I was on MCA except MCA. And so, I did not get a lot of promotion. Let's put it that way. But you know what?
If it makes you feel any better, I had it on cassette.
Okay, yeah.
And I wore the oxide off that thing.
Nice.
Well,
and would love to find a CD copy or a digital copy. Are they
well,
available?
you know what? It was. I'm so great. I never had any desire, and it's a good thing. But I never had a desire to be an artist. I just wanted to write songs.
But
That's
you were
all
so
I wanted
good
to,
at it.
Well. It's a different life. It truly is.
Oh yeah, and I can hear it. There was a song called "Me and the Missus."
Yes,
that you did.
Oh
on
my
there.
gosh, Bill!
Yeah, it was terrific.
Well, see, I had one fan. Well, I had two. I had my mama, and so that's good. So I'm doubling my sales already.
I remember seeing you first time we were introduced. You were on doing your record tour, sitting in the lobby of WHOO in Orlando.
Oh my!
And
gosh.
you wore glasses.
Yes.
In those days.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I had no earthly idea what I was doing, and but I'm just that song, Same Old Story, that wound up on No Fences. Garth cut that on No Fences. But this thing I'm doing at the Franklin Theater, it's really cool to me because it's an outfit out of Atlanta, Georgia, called Home by Dark. And I met James Casto, the ringleader, many years ago. And every summer I go down there and play with these people. Uh-huh. And it's really exciting to have them come up and play here in town. They're just, I'm easily some of the best people I've ever known in my life. And just great people and incredible players. So, and it's a rare opportunity. I never get to play with a band. It's a hard thing to put together. Because, all the musicians in this town are always so busy.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about doing this show with my friends from Atlanta.
Again, at 7:30 Franklin Theater.
Yes.
That happens Thursday night this week.
Yeah. Talk to us about writing the dance. What was happening in the room? Give us all the backstory. It's just such an incredible song.
Well, you're very kind. This is pretty well documented. I came to town with that melody.
Okay.
With a different set of lyrics. And if those lyrics had stuck, we wouldn't be having this meeting here today, I can assure you.
Do you remember some of the lyrics?
Oh, Lord, no, they've been buried. They'll find Jimmy Hoffa before they find those lyrics. I promise you that.
We did the Men in Black thing. They're gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
Those are out.
Was it titled The Dance, though? Or was it a different title, too?
It had a different title.
Okay.
But anyway, crazy as it sounds, I went to see a movie not long after we moved here, and it was called Peggy Sue Got Married.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
With Kathleen Turner and Nick Cage.
Yeah, Nick Cage.
And it's about a gal that goes back in time, but she remembers everything that happened when she goes back. And Nick Cage asked her to marry him, and she knows how bad it turned out, so she says, no way. And eventually there's a locket around her neck, and she realizes by turning him down that her children's pictures are no longer in there. And so she has to marry him if she's going to have her children. You can't pick and choose the memories. And although we didn't have children at the time, it hit me so hard. And somebody said that you've got to know how a song ends before you can start it. And at that point, I knew how the song was supposed to end, and I wrote the lyrics that are now the dance in just a matter of minutes. Because I already had the melody, so it was just a matter of putting the ideas over that melody. And there again, the craziest part about it is everybody moves here to get a song cut. And the greatest thing that ever happened to me was to be turned down by everybody for 3 years, because I did an early show with Garth at the Bluebird right after I had written this song, and that's one of the songs I played. And Garth came up and he said, "Pal, if I ever get a record deal, I'd love to do that song." And but it was 3 years between our little show, and when Garth got signed, stood on that same stage and got signed to Capitol Records. And in those 3 years, everybody and their brother turned that song down.
I was going to say, who did you pitch it to before?
Oh, it was pitched to everybody. And so the day after he did his showcase, he called me and he said, "Is that song still available?" And I said, it is. And so the greatest thing that ever happened to me as a songwriter was to be turned down. Wow. So, because it wound up exactly where it was supposed to be.
Yeah. In the video, it was a video era with TNN and
CMT, certainly.
CMT, yeah. And it just, the storyboard for that video.
I got to share this with you real quick. I wound up playing the Grizzly Rose, which is a big honky-tonk out in Denver during rodeo week.
Oh, wow.
And I was just trying not to make eye contact with anybody and not say anything stupid. And I'm sitting there in between sets, and about 10 cowboys start walking towards me. And I'm trying to think, what did I say? Did I say something? Did I say something bad? And one of them stepped forward, and he put his cassette, and he said, "Would you sign my cassette?" He said, "Lane Frost was my friend." Oh, so and Lane is the rodeo rider in the video of the dance.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's more than one occasion the song saved my life. So, anyway.
That's amazing.
And it was out on 45. You could still buy the 45 at the time, and it's a pretty strong A side when the B side of the single is "If Tomorrow Never Comes."
Oh,
really?
Okay.
That was the B side of the dance.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Well, from his forthcoming album, I Got Beat Up by a Bunch of Cowboys in Denver. Tony Arata is playing the Franklin Theater Songwriter Series.
Well, we don't know how that song ends yet. We can't write that one yet.
Yeah,
So
that's
we
true.
gotta see how it ends.
I'll have to see a movie.
And that's 7:30 this Thursday night. Love you dearly, pal.
I love y'all, and I thank you so much for having me, truly.
Absolutely. Coffee, Country, and Cody all over the world on WSM Radio, Circle Country Television at circlecountry.com, and our socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Tony Arata.